ولقد خلقنا الإنسان من سلالة من طين ثم جعلناه نطفة في قرار مكين ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظاما فكسونا العظام لحما ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين ثم إنكم بعد ذلك لميتون ثم إنكم يوم القيامة تبعثون ولقد خلقنا فوقكم 7 طرائق وما كنا عن الخلق غافلين وأنزلنا من السماء ماء بقدر فأسكناه في الأرض وإنا على ذهاب به لقادرون فأنشأنا لكم به جنات من نخيل وأعناب لكم فيها فواكه كثيرة ومنها تأكلون وشجرة تخرج من طور سيناء تنبت بالدهن وصبغ للآكلين وإن لكم في الأنعام لعبرة نسقيكم مما في بطونها ولكم فيها منافع كثيرة ومنها تأكلون وعليها وعلى الفلك تحملون.
There is nothing from human experience that can let us believe that something came from nothing. Look at everything around you. Where did it all come from?
Imagine if we're traveling through the natural surroundings of the beautiful desert and we stumble across this mobile phone just lying there on the sand, and you ask yourself where it came from. Someone tells you, take a look at the basic components of this mobile phone. You've got the outer plastic and you've got the silicon chips inside. Someone tells you plastic is produced from oil and the silicon is produced from sand. And it's then explained to you that over the course of millions of years, the oil beneath the desert is caused to rise and merge with the sand, and through the heat of the sun and the heavy desert winds and strikes of lightning, these extraordinary events caused the creation of the mobile phone to occur. Just like that. Ridiculous, right? And it's ridiculous because everything about this mobile phone points to a design. It's too perfectly shaped and formed, and its features are too sophisticated for it to have appeared so randomly.
Only Earth sustains life as we know it today. Everything that we know about Earth suggests that it was created to support life.
The size of the Earth is immense, yet there it is floating in the universe orbiting the Sun. At the same time, it's tilting and spinning on its own axis. Just think, if the Earth was to go around the Sun any faster, we could break out of orbit and all life would end as we spun off into the vast universe. Likewise, if we were to orbit slower, we would be drawn closer to the Sun and burn up. If the angle at which the Earth is tilted was a few degrees off, then we would not have our seasons and we would suffer all sorts of disasters affecting the weather, crops, animals, and the food we rely on for survival. And what about the Moon? Have you noticed how fully it hides the Sun during a solar eclipse, even though it's nowhere near the size of the Sun and it's millions of miles away? Everything is in its place, working in perfect precision. Can you imagine what levels of calculations are required to achieve this level of precision?
Just like we're not prepared to accept a mobile phone appearing in the desert through random events, there's no way the whole universe, the galaxies, the stars, its complex systems ordered with such precision occurred through events of randomness or from nothing. And the same can be said about the existence of human beings. And this brings me to something that God says in his final revelation, where he says, Were they created by nothing? Or were they themselves the creators? Or were they the creators of the heavens and the earth? Nay, but they are sure of nothing.
The existence of God is the most plausible explanation and a very rational conclusion from all other ideas.
If you force yourself to sit back and think about how we got here and all the things that fit together just perfectly on our planet, it's just very incredible. Just our atmosphere alone, the reason we can breathe is because the nitrogen and the carbon dioxide and the oxygen just fit together perfectly. All the things from all the different landscapes, from the mountains to the jungles, to the deserts, to the oceans, all the different kinds of animals and different kinds of fish. You just have to come to one conclusion, and the conclusion for me, and obviously many other people, is that there's one supreme being or supreme intelligence that created everything. And once you come to this conclusion, you have to believe that he controls everything. And for me, it's just very, very soothing and comforting knowing this.
It's perfectly rational and reasonable to link what we see in the design and the reality of order with intelligence, power, and will. It proves the existence of an intelligent and creative being, and that can only be what we understand to be God. And who is God? Well, we know about God through what God himself has revealed in his final revelation, the Quran. In it, God states, "Say, he is Allah, the One. Allah is the self-sufficient master upon whom all depend. He begets not, nor was he begotten, and there is none co-equal or comparable unto him."
A huge sphere of 12.756 kilometers in radius is moving rapidly in the space in a speed of almost 68,000 miles per hour. It is called the Earth. The Earth is surrounded by an atmosphere of 5 layers consisting of hydrogen, oxygen, and inert gases. At the same time, the Earth rotates around its axis at 1,000 miles per hour. I will not speak about the greatness of the universe or the incredible galaxies, which the Earth looks like a speck of dust on the foothill of Everest in comparison to them. And I will not speak about the countless numbers of light years with endless zeros. I have heard a lot of talking from the atheists in the world. But the thing they say, and I did not understand until now, is that they do not believe in God because they cannot see him. I do not know how they cannot see him, while I can see the creation of God all the time, in every inch around me. Why does water have very unique properties in comparison to all other liquids? Why does Earth rotate in definite speed and in an accurate angle? Example, 23.5 degrees. Why is the Sun located at such an enormous distance and has such high temperature? Why the atmosphere has certain components in specific measures? When you ponder on the answers to these questions, you will see the great Creator revealing himself clearly. The Earth rotates around its axis at 1,000 miles per hour. Assuming that this speed decreases to 200 miles per hour, for instance, our night and day times would be 10 times longer. The temperature at the daytime would continue to increase till we burn, and the temperature at the night would continue to decrease until we freeze. Humans would not be able to organize their time, sleep, and work during the very long daylights or the darkness of night. All of the measures in this planet are regularized and adjusted for the benefits of one creature, the only creature that has a mind capable of understanding and realizing. Is there a message to us from the One who has created all this? Why the only liquid necessary for life is also the only liquid that decreases in density when it freezes and then it floats. If water was exactly like the rest of liquids in terms of characteristics, the seas, rivers, and oceans would totally freeze, and fish and animals of seas and oceans would die. Without the sun, we would not be able to live on this planet. It is a sterilizer and light. The temperature on the surface of the sun is 12,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and the distance between the sun and Earth is nearly 93 million miles. This enormous distance is constant. It never changes, whether to increase or decrease. If it decreases and the sun becomes nearer to the Earth, half of the distance, for example, the paper and wood will immediately burn. And if the distance increases to the double, the severe coldness which will happen because of the big distance will end life on Earth. If you realize these facts, you will also realize that there is a merciful Lord that organized such delicate, punctual messiahs on our planet in a system that suits us in a specific way to make our lives easy and smooth. This Earth rotates around the Sun in an angle of 23.5 degrees. This leads to the succession of seasons, and it also causes the suitability of the land for cultivation and housing. If Earth was not rotating in such accurate angle, the seasons would remain constant in every part of the Earth, and darkness would cover the two poles. The steam of seas will travel to the north and south. The snowy mountains will spread in some regions, and the arid deserts in other regions. The only way to avoid this is the rotation of the Earth in the space in an angle of 23.5 degrees. If the atmosphere has less thickness or different components, the meteors that we see bright at night, moving in the space 90 times faster than the bullet, would have penetrated the atmosphere, burning everything on Earth. The amazing thing is that the atmosphere only allows very nominal amounts of solar radiation important for the growth of plants, elimination of germs, and other needs for the Earth. Is nature capable of regulating all these specific measurements and definite dates to suit us? This balance of quantities needed for the life on Earth is very amazing. The air consists of 6 gases, 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. Why these gases were formed in such accurate percentages to be suitable to our lives and exactly as needed? If this existence was not under the dominance of a mighty, great, and wise Creator, then why does it have such amazing, balanced soul? As if everything is just gathered to play a harmonious symphony. This symphony is only for us. The answer is quite simple. He is the ever-wise. He is the ever-magnificent. He is the ever-great. He is the ever-merciful. He is the omnipotent. He is the generous. He is the ever-affectionate. He is the ever-glorious, the eternal owner of sovereignty, the owner of majesty and bounty. He is Allah.
قل لمن الأرض ومن فيها إن كنتم تعلمون سيقولون لله قل أفلا تذكرون قل من رب السماوات السبع ورب العرش العظيم سيقولون لله قل أفلا تتقون قل من بيده ملكوت كل شيء وهو يجير ولا يجار عليه إن كنتم تعلمون سيقولون لله قل فأنى تسحرون